Good morning, everyone. Today we are on day 18 of our Advent journey here in the Beyond the Mary devotional journal. And can't believe we're this far along. Christmas is just next week and a week from today. And yeah, just doesn't seem possible. But today we're actually we're talking about reaping and or planting and reaping. So we're on page 134. Now you can see right there. And today's devotional is interesting because it's talking about just how we're reaping and we're planting that garden. We plant. I don't know if you guys ever had a garden, but I guess it was yesterday we talked about cultivating, and that's so true about what we cultivate, what we do for ourselves. We will plant, like having that intentional lifestyle, and that's what just what I think of a garden is planting with intentions. And so the Bible verse that she gave is 2 Corinthians 9:6, saying, "Remember this: a farmer who plants only a few seeds will get a small crop, but the one who plants generously will get a generous crop." Those words are so straightforward and direct, and yet I find them difficult to carry out. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of curious if you struggle with actually, be intentional with how you're cultivating your garden called life. And it is, how much we plant, how much we, intentionally get into the garden is what we reap. And one of the things that I do want to pinpoint in this that I was thinking of is that sometimes we can just start planting and random things, just like throwing seeds out, not caring where we plant them. It's just sometimes that's good, but at the same time, sometimes we need to be intentional with how we do it, because it's kind of like with our jobs or careers or whatever. If we try to do too many things, that multitasking, like if we have 5 burners in the fire trying to do 5 different things, it's like then we're just trying to be a jack of all trades rather than being intentional with our time, with being expert in one thing. And so one of the things that when you go to a financial advisor, you're expecting that person to be great, good, be knowledgeable at their field, or being, if it's a brain surgeon, you want that, and going in for a brain surgery, you want him to be good at his field. And so being intentional in that way, that the more you reap in that one specific area, the more return you'll get. So be intentional with it as well. So not just being, not really thinking about it, just planting, which is good, but at the same time, being careful of just being intentional with your time, your energy, into making sure that when you are giving, giving it wisely. And so that's just one of the things that, to be thinking about this Christmas season, is looking back to see how was your year. And I know that a lot of people during this time period is, this is one thing that I'm doing this year. One of my goals is to be able to do the reflection on the year. What was your goals? What was your plans? How was your year? And then being able to evaluate that, and then looking at the new year. So reflecting on 2021, and then taking that reflection and launching into 2022. And that's one thing that, my thing with reflecting on 2021 is that, I'm so glad that, I took the step, left 31 gifts, being a being direct sales with them, and left that a year ago and dove into this ministry. And I'm so thankful that I did that, because I don't know where I would be if I didn't take that step. Because, like when you're planting, you're also reap. If you're planting on purpose, you reap on purpose. You get that reward. And so taking that time with God is so huge, and listening to him, drawing near to God, and he will draw near to you. And so don't forget to read the story. So we have the Christmas classic, A Christmas Legend, by Florence Scannell. I'm not sure if I said that right, that last name. And so this would be a good one too, especially if you have kids, to read. So then on the activity here, we have consider the growth in your own life. What areas are ready to harvest? You've invested in it, watch it grow, and now it's ready, really producing fruit. Label the plants in full bloom with these areas, and write what you enjoy about the harvest. Celebrate all that God has done in these areas of your life. So, for example, taking the time to read my Bible every morning. I'm enjoying hearing scripture in my mind throughout the day. It has brought me so much joy and peace. Then the next page is what areas are still in process. The growth has maybe stalled out or is having a hard time getting to a full rich place. What do you need to do to help these areas grow? Label the plans in process and write down steps you'll take to help them grow. So example, so there's actually two, if you can see, there's two types. One's barely growing, one's grown a little bit further. But the example is, I want to develop a rich prayer life, but I never make time for it. I want to start every morning by prayer. And remember, this can be so simple to do, because it can just take, like 10 minutes, like 10 or 15 minutes, a gap, maybe, to where when you wake up, just say, for example, you have your alarm set for, like, if you need to get up out of bed by, say, 7:45, have an alarm set for 7:45 to remind you to get up out of bed, but have another alarm for 7:30 to wake you up, and then have prayer before you get out of bed, or go to a chair or whatever it may be. And then the last page, are there areas in your life that are still in the seed stage? Which of these areas do you hope to plant this year? How will you get started, and what do you hope comes from it? So example, I want to start talking with my friend about Jesus. I'm going to schedule coffee with her to connect more regularly. And like that, it doesn't take much. I'm like, it's just making that simple decision and just making those small steps, because those very, very small steps is better than not doing anything at all. And so on the last page, it has from Hark the Herald Angels Sing by Charles Wesley. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations, rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. You can see that right there. So I hope that today's activity is a great reflection on how the new year, or this year, has come, given you, and then reflecting onto the new year. And this is a great exercise. I know that there is definitely a lot of other exercise that you can do that's similar to this. And so I wish you a blessed day, and I'll see you all tomorrow.